Hello internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Christian and Scooter, and today is day 3 of our Vlogmas series, the series in which I'm working my way through a winter collection that I've developed in 2023, so why not? So today we're going to do 2 different colors. So we're going to do the Mouse King, which is inspired by the Mouse King in my favorite ballet, which is the Nutcracker. And we're also going to do one inspired by my favorite jam, which is raspberry jam. And I think those 2 colors work really well together. And for the highlight of today, for the small business opportunities, like for the gift ideas for a loved one. Oh, should probably not show you this specific one, but I'm using the other one. I shouldn't do this. Okay, well, if you have the Explorer Knit and Fiber Advent, please skip ahead from this. So I want to highlight Knitting, which is a small creator who does knitting. She mostly does stitch markers. Can you focus on the right thing, please? Okay, I'm just trying to do this. Okay, so she mostly does stitch markers, and they're all polymer clay, handmade, and they're very pretty. And you don't necessarily have to use this specific brand. There's other polymer clay artists here over there, but I think she does have a voice that is really unique and really pretty. I think I have another one I can show you. Yep. So this was from their collaboration with Explorer Knit for the it was the quarterly box that they did with the element. So this one is mushroom because it was for the earth. So really pretty. And as always, I will have in the description box information on the website and the Instagram. And this is for Knitting en Route. I really like small businesses, so please encourage as much as possible small businesses over the holidays. So let's get into this. Hello, welcome back to another edition of We're Making the Entire Winter Collection. Oh, I forgot to do my math for this one. Oops, I'll be back. Okay, we're back and I did my math now, so we are good to go. Sorry about that. I completely forgot to do my math because for my raspberry jam color, I do my own mix. And to do so, I have to do some math for my percentage and all of that. So the first thing we're going to do, and we're also going to be doing the Mouse King, because the Nutcracker is one of my favorite ballet. And it was a tradition of mine when I was younger to go and see the Nutcracker in Ottawa. So that was really fun. I have fond memories of that ballet. So this is why we have the Mouse King as well in this winter collection, because for me, the Nutcracker is just sweet memories from my childhood and like the holiday season and just like, being fancy and going to see a ballet. Okay, so first thing we need to do is our stock solution. And before doing the stock solution, we need to wear this. Doesn't have to be this specific brand. Please make sure that it is something that will catch any fine particles and that you're not going to be breathing in any of the dry powder. So, because we only have one pair of lungs, so please protect them. And voila. Now that my PSA is done, I'm going to be doing my mix for raspberry jam. Before doing anything, always make sure that your scale is at 0, because that's important for accuracy and precision. Perfect. And I'm going to need to use my small scale for this one. Wait, and this. And as usual, just make sure that you clean off properly the little thingy here. One will need to go in my fancy thing. Okay, and now I need to do my other one. I need to remember what's okay. Precision scale. So same thing, we need to make sure that we are at 0 before putting any dry powder on the scale. Oh, nice. Right on the dot. Amazing. Come on. So same thing, we're going to be putting this here, and we need to make sure that we clean up this. And there we go. So I'm going to get my fancy schmancy thing. Ugh. I can remove my respirator now that, whew, that this is good. So I'm going to take this because I just want to avoid any clumps. So let's grab the magnet. I just think it's so funny. I'm still going to be using a strainer to make sure that I don't have any clumps before pouring into my pots, but I'm fairly certain that we're going to be good after that. I'm sorry, I just think this is super funny. Okay, I'm just going to grab this because we're going to be using the same thing because I can see some dry powder on the top, so I just want to make sure that we get everything out of the way. I'm a real kid. What can I say? Okay. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. It's a little tornado! Okay. So that's good. And now we're going to go into the pots. See you there. Okay. So I've already added my water and I've already added the heat because it's going to take a little while for the water to reach the right temperature. So I just wanted to make sure that we were going to be starting it off. So now we're going to, oh yeah, I do have some dry powder at the bottom. Okay. So the magnet is nice, but it's not perfect, you know? I should have stirred a little bit more before doing the magnet. But we're fine. And you know what? I already have my gloves, so I'm very proud of myself for that. See? All good. Perfect. I'm going to grab the other thing. There we go. So I'm just going to quickly rinse off my gloves to make sure that I will not be contaminating any of the skeins. And now we're going to be adding our skeins of yarn. And we want to make sure that we do a lot of movement to open up the skeins of yarn. There we go. I'm just going to rinse off my gloves quickly. I'll be right back. now we're doing the same thing with the mouse king. We're going to make sure to open up the skeins as much as possible. So this is why we do a lot of movement. Up and down. We remove the zip tie to ensure that we don't create any resistance there. And we're going to be adding the citric acid in about 10 minutes so we can give the yarn a little chance to absorb the color slightly slower. Here we go. Perfect. So I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, let's add the citric acid. So rule of thumb is 1 teaspoon per skein of yarn. So 2 teaspoons per pot will be more than enough. And there we go, all mixed up. Alrighty, so now we are going to wait for the temperature of the water to reach between 85 to 95 Celsius. And once we've reached that temperature, we're going to let the yarn cook for 30 minutes. So I will see you when we're closer to checking on if we need more to adjust a little bit more of the temperature or the citric acid level, or if we need to adjust the cooking time. So I will see you later. Okay, let's look at this. And we're good, so we will be able to turn off the heat and let it cool completely before we're going to wash off any excess dye. With the raspberry jam, we might have some bleeding. We should be fine. We shall see. It's really the mouse king. I have absolutely no expectation of bleeding just due to the low concentration of the dye. So, see you later today. Okay, let's wash off any excess dye from the raspberry jam first because it's the darker color. So, I just want to ensure that I don't get too frustrated towards the end of it. Okay, let's do this. Come on, you are... Ooh, clear water. Look at that. And the color is actually not in the water, it's on the side of my pot. You can see that we have some color. So this is also one of the reasons why it's super important to properly wash off your equipment every time that you use it, because if you don't wash it off, well, you could stain the yarn that you're trying to dye and it will not be the color you want. So I'm going to let this sit in here for 10-15 minutes and then we'll be back to see what's up with that. Okay, where are we? Nice. We are good to go. Hooray. Okay. So I'm going to put this in my spin dryer and we're going to wait for the other skeins to join it. And without any surprise, we have a clear bite. So I'm still going to wait a few minutes to let this soak, and then we're going to be checking on it. I'm sure I won't have any bleeding. I just want to ensure that we soak it properly. And then we're going to put that in the spin dryer and, let it dry overnight. Okay, where are the tie wrap? Where are they? Okay, I've got one here. And there we go. And as expected, no bleeding. I just really like to give it a good soak, especially with eucalyptus, because there is lanolin in it, so it will help the yarn to regain the softness. Because sometimes when you dye it, if sometimes the dye will like create not a crisp, because this is definitely not what I mean, but anyways, it will put back lanolin, because when you wash it, some lanolin will leave. There we go. That's my train of thought. And it will regain that lanolin in it, and it's going to make it more water resistant and soft. And lanolin is really good for your skin if you're not allergic to it. So we're going to put this in a spin dryer and let it dry overnight, and I will see you tomorrow for the results. And here's the final result for Raspberry Jam and the Mouse King. So both colors complement each other really well, and I think they would look fantastic together in a color work with where you need a high contrast. So you can see that we have a very beautifully deep purple, magenta, pink, and here we have this very soft purple gray. So they really will work well together, and I really like them, and I hope you do too, because they're like, I was so proud of those colors when I first developed them, because those are two very different depth of shade. We go from a very darker one to a very soft, light pastel one. So I was very happy to be able to explore the range I had discovered there. So I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye!